Who's your favorite architect?
Actually, don't have one.
I actually don't have one.
Well, I mean, I guess I don't really have favorites of most things, so that's just me personally. But for architects, I tend to know stuff I don't like more than what I like. So if you ask me what buildings I don't like, then yeah, but favorite, I'm not really sure.
So then what buildings do you not like?
What buildings do I not like?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a job. I can't be saying that out. I can't be saying that out loud.
Okay then.
What are the practices of watching?
Not specific buildings, what like aspects or like features of buildings do you not like?
Okay, that's a good one. My biggest one, Cantilever Balconies. Oh my god, it's so dumb, but I actually cannot stand Cantilever Balconies. And I made a whole TikTok about it ages ago, and everyone was in the comments like, "What's wrong with this guy?" And some people agreed, but I can't stand Cantilever.
Isn't that a TikTok guy like Madeline Argy was in the comments?
Some may say, who am I? I'm not. I don't lurk there. Okay, I do, but
balconies.
I do, but yeah, I can't stand Cantilever Balconies. It seems like an afterthought. It feels like everything happened and someone wanted to sit outside and just hopped on the balcony.
So then how would you rather a balcony be designed?
Recessed. It makes more sense, feels included, feels like it was thought of. Maybe I'm also just superstitious because I can't believe the balcony feels like it could fall off, but that's probably not going to happen, but yeah, I don't know.
So more of like a fear of heights?
No, I don't have fear of heights. No, actually don't have a fear of heights. It's a fear of testing fate, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. You wouldn't stand on a ledge and just see what happens. Why would you stand on a cantilevered balcony?
A lot of people do stand on ledges, like, I don't know, like cliff divers and like base jumpers and like bungee jumpers and all of those things, skydivers. And
I think you do not want your house to be a place a cliff diver thinks is where they would want to jump up. Those guys are ready to, unfortunately, they know the outcome of whatever they're doing is life or death, and they're living with that. I don't want to go on my balcony thinking there's a 50-50 chance.
But then one would say that you just don't trust engineering.
No, you see, you can't do this now because you're going to get all the engineers coming for me. Like, I know there's nothing wrong with cantilever balconies, okay? It's just the way it feels and looks. Like, it just looks like, yeah.
So it's just more of an aesthetic thing.
Aesthetically, it looks off, and because it looks off, it looks like a late addition, and a late addition looks like it wasn't in the plan. Because it doesn't look like it was in the plan, it feels like it could fall off. That's my thinking.
I do see. But what about I like apartments that have those like winter garden style balconies.
What's that?
So recessed, yes, but also completely covered in glass, so you're not actually outside.
Yeah.
Almost like having like a back porch in your apartment.
Those are fine.
Yeah, because the glass, like, they get really heated up and really warm, and then you're not in the outside, just still in the inside. Like having a conservatory type vibe.
Yeah, but can you open them, or is it just covered completely?
I don't think you can.
Then it's not really a balcony then. It's like, it's another room.
That's true.
Yeah.
A glass room.
Yes, a glass room. I feel like a balcony should be one with the elements in some form of safe
in the
manner.
sky.
Yeah. No, well, not that high up, but like you should hear sounds. Shouldn't be. If it's completely sealed off, it's another room. It's not a balcony to me.
You know, what about those really tall buildings like in New York that are like 50 floors tall? Do you think you should have like a personal balcony at like floor 45?
Well, no, I don't. No.
You give me one with the eye, you know?
No. I'm not advocating for balconies in every building. I think there's a certain level that just feels ridiculous, and because even in most hotels or just apartments, you can't open the windows all the way. So why would you say the windows can't open, but then like here's a balcony that's completely, it makes no sense to me. So
I wonder what the actual like regulations are about how high you're allowed to have a balcony. There must be rules around it.
I've seen like 12th floor balconies. I honestly don't know. I'm going to guess. I'm going to put in the number in the video here, but let's guess like 20th floor.
I'm gonna guess less than that. I'm gonna guess the 15th floor.
15.
Yeah, because 15 floors is probably like more than people think like 15 floors is taller than this building.
I don't know how tall this building is. What feature don't you like?
What feature do I not like in a building? When you're in some, usually like old or actually sometimes very commercial buildings, and they have like structural pillars, and they're just in the middle of the room.
You don't like structure?
No, I don't like it when you can see the structure of a
Oh,
building.
like exposed structure.
Yeah, I don't like exposed structure. I think it should just, the building should just stand, and how it stands shouldn't be visible to a user.
Wasn't like a whole like rustic, industrial type feel to it.
Sometimes, but a lot of the time it actually like hinders like functionality. You just have this like pillar in the middle of your space.
Does this depend on the use of the building, or is it for anyone? Would you like visible structures in commercial buildings as opposed to residential, or just blanket?
Okay, what I would say is if the structural detail is taking up floor space, then I don't like it. Because of course you have like structural beams that are on the ceiling, that's fine. But when it starts to like come into like people's like like normal line of vision, like in your space, then I think it like hinders the functionality of the space. Because now like if you have this like big open plan room, and then you just have like some like structural pillars in the middle of the room, people have to navigate around them to get to where they want to get. I don't think it's great, and I also don't think it's very accessible.
I guess this is usually for old buildings when you try to retrofit them.
Yeah, I think you see it a lot in old buildings, but also like very, very large commercial spaces, probably because they have like such like large.
Yeah, they need that though.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's another way they can get around it.
It's either that or like casualty, probably. To be fair, that could also just be the easiest way to get it done.
Probably, it's probably the cheapest way to get it done.
Too.
And like engineering another system would probably just be too expensive and too much thinking. What future buildings do you really like?
Honestly, none. Nothing comes to mind. Again, as I said in the beginning, I don't really know things I like. I know things I don't like, because everything else is. I operate on a -1 to 0 scale. So everything -1 is what I don't like, and then 0 is just everything else. So
it's very critical of you.
Well, not really. Like, we all know what we don't like, and I don't choose what I like. I just know I don't like. It's not the best, but yeah. What about you?
I like interesting roof shapes. It's not that strange. Like A-frame buildings. I think they're very interesting.
Like bonds?
Like any building that's an A-frame.
I don't know what an A-frame is.
It's where you have like a tent.
Oh, so just the generic like.
Yeah, the generic triangle.
The pitched roof.
Yeah, no, but not the pitched roof, because the pitched roof is like triangle, and then walls, so it's not an A anymore. Like there's no walls. It's just to the ground. Into the ground.
Oh, what? So the roof is the building, basically.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then you like fill the building, and then you have like you basically have one space that has like really tall ceilings, because like the roof is the building.
Do you have an example of this?
And then you can put like a mezzanine in the top.
This feels like you're describing a specific building.
I'm not really describing a specific building, but I'm definitely describing buildings that I've seen before. They're usually like cabin type spaces.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, I think I get what you mean now. The roof goes all the way to the ground, and then you have... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they make very cozy buildings. And I also like when everything is in one space.
Like open plan?
Wait, no, but like I live in like a studio now. So everything is just very comforting and in one space. And I do quite like that.
I have to disagree with open plan. I've had a lot of incidents when my laptop smells like stew. That would not happen if the kitchen was in its own room.
I've actually never experienced that.
I'm
not sure how
do you cook stew?
I don't know how your laptop is holding smells.
Do you cook stew?
Do you cook stew?
Yeah.
Yeah, I cook.
No, you cook, but do you cook stew?
Why stew specifically?
Because the smell lingers with stew.
I don't know, like I've just never really experienced that before.
I think open plans work depending on location. I think if your cooking and diet consists of mainly African or Nigerian dishes, it doesn't favor you in any way because the smell lingers.
But then it's like, how can you design an open plan space that like mitigates that? I think it's possible.
I don't think you want that, because also the processes behind making for example, a lot of Nigerian food, it's very intense and it takes up a lot of space, and I feel like having that mixed with a living space just doesn't really work. It's not the best. I don't think there's anything wrong with open plan spaces. I just don't think every space should be open plan.
That's true. Every space shouldn't be open planned, but I like them because I think they make for quite cozy and comforting spaces.
Yes, as long as you don't cook stew.
No. Like but the thing is, like, that could be an interesting design challenge. Like, let's say you wanted to design a kitchen that has such great ventilation that it like stops smells from being able to catch onto your items. And like, okay, where do you then place the bedroom in the space? If you'd have a mezzanine, is there a way to place the bedroom up at a height where like the smell wouldn't travel up to the bedroom, but instead be funneled out of specific ventilation openings that you design? Like, you actually like engineer which way the smells and the ventilation and the circulation happens in your space, like keep different areas.
Yeah, that actually makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it just creates an interesting design challenge, and a lot of the time people say that if you live in like an ethnic household, like open plan spaces aren't for you. But then, why don't you think of how can I design an open plan space for an ethnic household?
It's also a want thing. Do they want or need an open plan space? Is it something that would be used in the way you're thinking?
Well, everyone's different. Like, yes, a lot of people don't want one because that isn't how, like in different parts of the world, homes are traditionally designed. But then, when you think about like a more Western context, like it's very globalized now. So within like a Western ideal, or like a Western, like within Western design principles, there are like people of like all backgrounds that may actually want their home to be open planned and not the way it was traditionally would have been in the countries that they originated from.
I think that makes sense, but then that's because if you move from where you're from, you're in a way opening yourself up to adopt the living experiences of where you're going to. Like, you wouldn't go back to Nigeria, for example, and tell everyone, look, from now on we're building open plan spaces.
Yeah, of course not. This isn't for Nigeria.
Yeah, exactly.
Nigerians wouldn't want that. It's for like a Nigerian living in like a different country where they've like, I don't know, they potentially decided that maybe they have lived in an open plan space before, and those things they liked about it and those things they didn't like about it, how could they make it better work for them?
Yeah.
Or they might just hate it entirely and never want to live in an open plan space again.
Yeah. I don't think most people don't feel that they have that choice. You live where it's available.
That is true.
But that's a whole other discussion.
But like, as a designer, it just feels like, you know, I myself and other designers have the choice to be able, not really have the choice, it's more of like a mental thing. We think about how things can be designed better. So we may not actually have the capabilities to go out there and like build our own houses. But we always are thinking.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. I don't mind open plan spaces, but everything smelling like food is kind of annoying. But again, that depends on what you're cooking. And yeah, you did mention a point about finding ways to mitigate that, but this also goes well into who designs spaces and who are these spaces designed for, because if you have a diverse background of people giving that input into what an open plan kitchen could look like, maybe all of these would have been mitigated ages ago.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're having this conversation now, but I feel like a lot of people that design houses and are like pushing this like,
because they don't cook stew.
Yeah, pushing this like everything needs to be in the same room because of like connectivity, and when you're cooking you can like be connected with the people that are sitting in the living room.
Also, I think it's cheaper because they're building less walls.
Exactly.
I don't have proof of that, but it feels like that.
I think those people that like have those conversations and make those decisions probably have never really talked
Never cooked
about
stew.
cooking stew. Yeah. Probably not. So yeah, that's why it's good to have like people of like multiple backgrounds all involved in like the design process.
What kind of stew do you like?
Stew that is red. Are there different types of stew?
Yes, chicken, beef, fish.
That's not different types of stew. That's just the protein that's in it.
No, but the protein gives it a different flavor.
Not chicken then.
Okay, chicken. Yeah, I like.
And beef.
Yeah, beef.
Not fish.
I don't like fish either. That's the one that smells the worst, actually, in terms of the smell lingering. So, yeah, I avoid fish stew.
Well, stew. What an interesting architectural topic.
It's not about the stew, it's about the open plan. The open plan that's of. I mean, everything is seemingly open, even offices these days, and I think it's down to just the cost of a lot of things. It's easier to have open plan offices. It's cheaper to have open plan offices than walled off offices. Same with flats. Everything is almost being made into it's blending. I don't know how to put it, but
Blending.
yeah, it's like there's no separation anymore with a lot of things.
Well, some could say that's a good thing because it's like if you design a space to be so specifically for one use, how can it ever be like modified into the future to be used for something else?
Yeah.
It's like when spaces are like blank canvases, like it improves their longevity, some say.
Yeah, and some are just saying I don't know. I think it works depending on what the initial use of the building is. I like seeing commercial buildings being retrofitted or renovated into residential buildings. I like seeing houses being renovated, walls being knocked down. But I feel that if everything is open plan, as much as we're thinking to the future, the people inhabiting the spaces now, are they getting the best of the space? Are we over future-proofing spaces and forgetting that people need these spaces to work for them now?
Yeah, it's like a question to ask. Like,
chat, what do you think?
would if you could only live in one type of house for the rest of your life, would you rather it be open planned, or do you want separate rooms for separate activities?
Think of this while you make your next pot of stew. See ya.
Shall I pay what did you add in your stew? Shall I pay what did you add in your stew? Shall I pay what did you add in your stew? Shall I pay what did you add in your stew? Shall I pay what did you add in your stew? Shall I pay what did you add in your stew? Shall I pay what did you add in your stew? This your stew is not sweet.